You ever notice how every sales founder or sales leader swears that they want better data? Things like we just need a new dashboard, or if we could track this one thing, once we get the right visibility, the team will perform. And I get it. The dashboard sounds like the fix. It feels clean, it feels objective, it feels scalable. But here is the harsh truth most people don't want to hear. You don't need a dashboard. You need discipline because the best dashboard in the world is worthless if nobody puts the right data in. And that's honestly what I've learned the hard way after about 7 years of building sales systems across dozens of different businesses. I used to get excited when a client asked for a new dashboard. It meant they were serious, right? They wanted to see their pipeline more clearly. They wanted metrics. They wanted to optimize. So we'd spin up the build. We'd slice the stages. We'd layer in activities, filters, and tags and attribution logic. And after about a week, nothing. And the dashboard would just sit there, dusty, half accurate, ignored. And when we'd ask why it wasn't being used, things like, oh, we're not just 100% confident in the data yet, which is code for we never built the habits to keep it clean. And here's the thing no one likes to actually admit. A dashboard is a mirror, and most people aren't ready to look at their reflection. So they want the numbers without changing their behavior. They want the automation without any manual inputs. They want insights without the friction of accountability. But dashboards don't work like that. And they're not magic. They're math. And if the math is off, it's usually not the tool, it's the people behind the tool. So here's a common pattern that I've seen. You build a dashboard to show follow-up rates, but reps aren't logging tasks. You try to track speed to lead, but inbound leads don't have timestamps because the form was connected incorrectly. You build a campaign attribution, but nobody tags the actual source. Every time we circle back, the client says something like, we just need more automation. But more automation never fixes operator discipline. It amplifies it. And it's not always the rep's fault. Sometimes the leadership just hasn't decided that things should be tracked. So they've never defined what a sales qualified lead actually is. They've never outlined what the deal should, when a deal should move to follow up versus nurture. So reps start making it up and each one builds their own system. And the dashboard, it's just a mess of inputs that doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. So once we audited a client who had 6 different versions of a follow-up, all spelled slightly differently. The one naming inconsistency alone broke every conversion report that they had. So let's pause here and reframe. The problem isn't the data. The problem is the process behind the data, the inputs, the standards, the behavior. And until those are nailed, you're not ready for a dashboard. You're barely ready for a spreadsheet. Now, I'm not saying that this has to be, I'm not saying this to be cynical. I'm saying it because when teams do get this right, the results are incredible. We worked with one founder who didn't even have a CRM at first, just a Google sheet. But every day, their reps logged calls, next steps, and lead statuses by hand. They had one admin who checked for errors every morning. And when we finally plugged that sheet into a live dashboard 30 days later, the insights we were able to see were game changing, and they could see which campaigns actually drove the best leads. They found 3 reps who were dominating conversion rates and 2 who needed basically retraining. They adjusted the lead scoring, changed their dialer strategy, and nearly doubled their revenue in 90 days. Not because the dashboard was better, but because the discipline behind it made the dashboard real. So here's my honest advice to any founder or sales leader watching right now. Before you ask for a dashboard, ask this of yourself. Are you actually committed to feeding it? Are you willing to have a 10-minute meeting every day to check that reps are actually logging their activities? Are you willing to hire a $10 an hour admin to spot check call outcomes? Are you willing to standardize your pipeline, enforce lead statuses, and define which each stage means? If not, that's fine. Just don't expect insights because a dashboard isn't just a report. It's a reflection of your behavior. It tells you whether your team follows through, whether your process is being honored, and whether your system is actually working. So it doesn't lie. It just reports what is in front of you. And if there is chaos, don't blame the mirror. So here's what I recommend instead. Start small. Manually create a Google sheet with 3 fields: call completed, next step status. Have reps fill it out at the end of every day. No exceptions. Review it as a team every single day and coach off of it. Spot the mistakes and celebrate the consistency. And then once that's actually working, we can automate it. pipe it directly into the CRM, build out the dashboard, train your team how to log actions directly into Close or HubSpot. But you'll know when you're ready for automation because it won't feel like a leap. It'll feel like removing friction from something that already works. So that's how you build dashboards that actually drive results, not dashboards that gather dust. And if you take nothing else from this video, take this. Don't ask for insight if you haven't earned accuracy. All right. Because good data doesn't start with software, it starts with leadership. And you don't get the dashboard that you want. You get the one you're willing to build. So let's go make this worth reading. And I hope this video was helpful.